Uh, they could hear you. They couldn't see you for a
Oh,
second. Could you reintroduce yourself? I apologize,
oh,
Facebook Live.
sure, no problem. I'm Christie Sweatman. I am the marketing consultant here for Alpha Graphics in Vernon Hills, Illinois. And that's my voice you've been hearing.
All right. I apologize, folks.
No
I
problem.
have fifth apps, so bear with me a little bit. On to some of the cool business things you guys do. You guys do business cards, you do pamphlets, you do mailers, direct mailers, which I think is probably the most important one to talk about right now, which is for all those restaurants that are struggling, that are trying to get more out there. What can you do to help them?
Absolutely. And I mean, restaurants are one of them. I'm sure, plenty of other businesses out there that are open, that are essential, that really need to advertise that they are still open. And I know that, nowadays, especially when we come into an economy that is kind of happening due to COVID, people try to cut their marketing budgets. And that's the one thing that you don't want to do, because then you're invisible. There are all these people out there right now on social media, but they are sitting at home too. They're getting their mail. You need to kind of attack it on all fronts, because if you don't, then no one knows you're there, and no one's going to come to your business. So really for the mailing portion of it, like we're doing, we do printing and fulfillment for some larger companies that are sending out kits to restaurants. And if there's any smaller local businesses, again, restaurants or any other type of industry that's still open, we can create just some sort of either coupon or just some sort of postcard that's small that we can mail out, and make sure that everybody knows what they're offering. One that's very popular, especially for somebody who wants to saturate an entire area if they don't have specific categories that they need to stay in, is an every door direct mail. And so that is something that you just go on to the post office website and you choose your carrier routes, and whatever we print goes into every single mailbox that the post office stops on that route. So you don't have to have a list. You don't have to know who it is that you're sending it to. You just mail it out, and it's a significantly discounted postage rate as well, because they're already going to that post, to that home or to PO box that they're going to. So they just basically hand them out with their mail. So that's a really great way to saturate an area and make sure that the consumers around you are getting your information. And we can help create that print, and we even drop it off at the post office for you. So it's kind of like a no-brainer, and it's easy to do because you don't have to come in and talk to me. We can talk over the phone, get an idea, and do everything through email that way, communication wise.
Which is really great. And then the speed at which you guys do things is insane. A lot of people like me don't plan ahead for every marketing thing they have to do. So can you talk about your guys' turnaround time and how you're able to do things so quickly?
Sure. So the majority of everything that we do nowadays is digital printing. Most print shops have transitioned to digital printing over, traditional press printing, just because of the speed. So I feel like us too, we're just a little bit faster. Typically, we're a small shop internally, meaning we have, a few employees, 3 to 4 employees at a time, again, family. So we communicate extremely well, and we're able to just turn things around in and out, because we understand how important it is for our clients to get their things done, get it done right the first time, and get it out the door. So we really do strive to make sure that we can get those things done as fast as possible. So yes, I have the majority of the time, I have people will call me up and they say they need it either same or next day. And that's usually, depending on the size of the project, not a problem. So like if you told me right now, hey, I'm coming to see Dr. Brian for an adjustment. So would you bring me some business cards? And I leave in a half an hour, I'm sure that I could print your cards and bring them to you. So it's just kind of a way that we like to make sure that our clients are happy. I mean, that makes us happy.
So we have a question from a live viewer. So Lenny is asking, can you print blueprints? I don't know the answer to that question.
We can. The only thing we can't do is scan them in from original. But if you had your actual, if you had the file, you could email it to us, then we can print them off. Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. And then I know you've done some really high-end work for some people in the legal community as well. So you can take in their files and then print it out and
Yes,
collate it. And
we do litigation printing for some law firms. Essentially, we have a good agreement with them as far as, non-disclosure type things. So anytime there's a need for copying files for cases, they will bring us whatever they have, and we have to usually keep it in order. We scan it to a file and then bait stamp it for them if that's something they prefer. And then we also will do copies for them depending on, if they need it and their client needs it. We do that as well. Yes.
perfect. And then, I've talked a lot about smaller, mid-sized businesses because that's where I live. But you actually help out some really, really large companies as well, and all their corporate events and printing some really big, complicated binded things. Can you touch on that a little bit
Yeah,
as
we
well?
do. We have quite a few large companies that are local. I mean, Vernon Hills is kind of this whole surrounding area. There's a lot of headquarters for some pretty large companies. So we do a lot of printing, all types for these companies. So one of them, we do benefits mailing. So in October, most companies is their renewal for their employees for their health benefits. So around that time of year, we do printing and fulfillment and mailing for that type of thing. So that requires, getting lists and printing all of the insurance information and making sure that the correct insurance information is going into the correct envelope and mailing it to the specific employee. So we do that a lot. We're doing some cards for a company that I can't say the name, but they, do delivery for food. So we will print and fulfill things like that for kits that go out to those restaurants. And again, we do a wide variety of marketing materials, as well as, we've even done invitations for these said large companies when they have their holiday parties. We print the invitations and we mail it to their employees and handle all that kind of stuff as well. So we really, there's not much that we don't do. Right now, also I want to touch on, that just popped in my head. A great thing right now for companies would be to do promotional items, which is another thing we do. We have an unlimited array of products that we can get done for our clients, to pens or tumblers or bags or anything that you can think of to put your logo on. So right now is a good time. If your company is still, whether it's operating or not, but something to maybe invest in, to send out to people to make sure that you're not forgetting that you're there, because everybody is in this situation. Whether you're working or not, everyone is affected. Even the businesses that are still in business are suffering because a lot of their clients are not doing business. So it's a good time if you have the money that you want to put into just doing a promotional item, that would be great, and send it out to your clients that you want to make sure they don't forget you.
Perfect. And then you're also able to actually design and build websites for these places that might have multiple locations or print in lots of volume, so everybody's thing can look exactly the same, which is pretty amazing. You wouldn't expect a smaller business to be able to do that, but can you walk them through that?
Sure. These are great. So they're basically an online ordering site. We don't do websites per se, but we can create an online ordering site for companies. So it's usually more useful for companies that have multiple employees, or like an office manager, someone that is in charge of ordering business cards and their letterhead and any stationary items that when they're running low, it's their job to do that. Essentially what we do is we have an online site that they go to, and if we build it for them, it's all their frequently ordered items. So there's a business card template, and they can log on, and it's got all of their set fields, and they just fill it in. It also eliminates the design process as far as, people will email you and say, I need a business card created. Here's all the information. We would type it up, email it back to them. Then they would have to send it off for approval. It cuts out that whole process. So essentially they can get the information, input it. They preview it right on their screen. And then they send it to us once it's been approved through their end. So it kind of cuts out the back and forth and waiting for us to make changes and things like that. And then on the same aspect, there's information that doesn't change, like if they want to order letterhead or envelopes or any other items that they have, they can just go on. It's, you know, it's online ordering, but it's their items. So it's really neat. There's a lot of different capabilities with this site. We do postcards for real estate agents as well, that have a site where they can upload their list and they can change their postcard to what they want. They have like a basic template that's set up, but then they can just upload new photos of whatever house they're currently showing and then type in all the information they need, and it generates a proof, and then it even loads the list. And then once they send it to us, it's their whole list in print ready form, and we print and mail it. So it's really easy. So it's a great asset for any company that really needs to save time.
Yeah, and hopefully we all get busy here at some point again. So then to kind of bring this towards the end, what's a good way to get what's your guys' phone number? I guess is a good place to start.
So our phone number is 847-816-7373. And if you want to check out our website, it is www.us278@alphagraphics.com. We are the Vernon Hills location of Alpha Graphics. As I mentioned before, we are franchised, so there are other locations, but we specifically own and operate the one in Vernon Hills.
And then I put your email in the chat as a response, but it is csweatman@alphagraphics.com. In case you guys can't see that, or after the live goes away, some of the comments seem to go away. Facebook's an interesting thing to work through.
You can also find our Facebook page as well.
Yeah, so we'll put a cross link to their Facebook page. Please contact them, call them. They're wonderful to work with. They're easy to work with. I can point to 8 million things in my office that they directly help me design. So thanks for your time, Christie. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Once again, everybody, please like, comment, share, especially if you know anybody in the HR or restaurant industry. Those are people that could really use her help right this second. Or if you know somebody that did unfortunately have to reschedule their wedding or special event of some kind, which is truly unfortunate, this is a great way to get creative and to have some fun and to send out something that you can be proud of. So if you want to be proud of your work and you want somebody on the other line that's going to be responsible and take care of you, this is the route to go. So thank you again, Christie. Have a great day, everyone, and I will see you all probably tomorrow, I guess. I'll figure out something to talk about tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.